Hello everyone. This is the fourth video. In the last video, we have seen how to use the concept of proportionality if time is constant. Okay. So we'll continue with that. And like I told you, this is one of the very important concept here. So today again in this video, we'll see if time is constant, then how to tackle questions here. Okay. Now, this is the question which was asked in CAT 2001, not only in 2001 when CAT has introduced the online test for the first time in the year 2009. The same question appeared in my set in 2009 also. Okay, and similar type of the questions keep appearing on 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. On almost 4 to 5 consecutive years, every year there are the questions. Only the value keeps on changing here. So we'll try to solve it by two different methods. Both the methods are equally important, and after going through this video, you can decide which method to use in the exam. It says three runners A, B, C run a race. Now it's a race, so all the three persons will start simultaneously, with runner A finishing 12 meters ahead of runner B and 18 meters ahead of runner C. Okay, so let's stop here before moving further here. So in this case, what is happening? There is a runner A, B and C. So I can say, let's say this is the length of the race course, and the length of the race course is X meter, with runner A finishing 12 meters ahead of runner B. So when A finishes the race, A is ahead by B by how many meters? 12 meters. The gap between A and B is of 12 meters. Okay, and 18 meters ahead of runner C. So which means the gap between B and C is nothing but 6, such that the gap between A and C will be nothing but that is 12 plus 6, which is 18 here. Now this is what when A reaches to the finishing point. Okay, B is 12 meters behind and C is 18 meters behind A. So in the same time, what is constant here? Time is constant here. So if the time is constant, I can say what is the distance traveled by A, distance traveled by B and the distance traveled by C. When A traveled X, in the same time, B will travel X minus 12 and C has traveled how much? X minus 6 here. Okay. So this is the distance traveled here, and we know if the time is constant, ratio of speed is always equal to ratio of distances here. So I can say like here that the speed of B upon speed of C, it is equal to the distance traveled by B to the distance traveled by C. And in the first case, the distance traveled by B and C are X minus 12 and X minus 18. It is not 6, but it is X minus 18. I'll just make a correction. This is X minus 18. Okay, so C has traveled X minus 18 here. Now, in the second case, what is happening? It says, while runner B finishes 8 meters ahead of runner C. So when B completed the race, so let me draw another diagram. When B completed the race, okay, the total length of the race course is X. When B completed the race, B finishes 8 meters ahead of runner C. So the gap between B and C is nothing but that is of 8 meters. Okay. So which means when B completed X, C has completed X minus 8 in the same time. Okay. Now time is constant. So if the time is constant, ratio of speed of B to speed of C here. In the second case, I am getting ratio of speed of B to C. B has traveled X meter and in the same time C has traveled X minus 8. So now we have got two ratios here regarding the speed of B to speed of C. Okay. Now equate these two here. So when you equate these two, I get here that is X upon X minus 8 is equal to X minus 12 upon X minus 18. Now it seems that you get a quadratic equation, but not, because X squared term will get cancelled. So simply solve this and you get the answer as nothing but that is 48 meter. So the correct answer for this question is 48 meter. So I can mark the answer as 48 meter, option 2. And like I told you that this question can be solved by another method. Now this is one of the method when time is constant. Now second method is much more easier and it is logical method. So let's see what is the second approach. Again it says three runners A, B and C. So I can say here, let's say this is the length of the race course here. A is here, B is here and C is here. Now, when A completed the race, okay, A is 12 meters ahead of B. So the distance between B and A is nothing but that is 12. and the distance between B and C is nothing but that is 6. Total 12 plus 6 is 18. In the second case, when B completed the race, B is 8 meters ahead of runner C. So the distance between B and C is of how many meter? 8 meter. Okay. Now in the first case, you can see that the gap between B and C is 6. Now when B completed the race, the gap is been increased by 2 meters. Okay, there is an increase of 2 meters. You can see it here. From 6, it has been changed to 8, 2 meter. So the gap increased by 2 meter when B has traveled 12 meter from here to here. Yes or no? B reached from here to here. So basically when I can say when B traveled 12 meter, the gap between B and C, it increased by 2 meter. So I'm writing it separately here that the gap, okay, when and the distance traveled by B. When B traveled 8 meter, when B traveled a total of 8 meter, you can see it here. Here, not 8 meter, but 12 meter. When B traveled 12 meter, B reached to the end point here. So when B traveled 12 meter, the gap between B and C increased by 2 meter. Initially, there is a gap of 6. Now there is a gap of 8 here. Okay. So the gap increased by 2 meters. But we know that the total gap between B and C by the time the race has completed was 8. Okay. So when B runs 12 meter, the gap between B and C is of 2 meter. But overall, the gap is of 8 meter, which is 4 times here. So can you say for this, that B must have traveled 4 times the total distance, that is 12 into 4. So 12 into 4, which is equal to 48 meter. Okay. So the answer is when B completed 48 meter, the gap between B and C will be overall 8 meter, and that we know. So the correct answer for this question is option 2, which is 48 meter. So of course, this method is a faster approach. So in the exam, I prefer this way. But yes, when you are preparing for the CAT or SSC or CGL or any other entrance examination, you should keep in mind that try to do the same question by 2 to 3 different approach, so that you should have a better idea of when to use which method. I hope it is clear. Now, let's take one more question. Now, this is from CAT 2004. Now, it says Karan and Arjun run a 100 meter race. So, this is a 100 meter race where Karan beats Arjun by 10 meter. Now, it's a race, so both the persons started at the same time. So, I can say since it is a race, so let's say mark this is a 100 meter race. And here Karan beats Arjun by 100 meter. So when Karan is here, Karan beats Arjun by 10 meter. Arjun is 10 meter behind Karan. Okay. Which means Karan has traveled a total of 100 and Arjun has traveled 10 meter less than Karan. That is 90 in the same time. Both the persons started at the same time. But the moment Karan reached to the opposite end, Arjun is 10 meters behind. So I can say here time is constant. And if the time is constant, I can say speed of Karan to speed of Arjun. It is equal to distance travelled by Karan. And what is the distance travelled by Karan? The distance travelled by Karan here is 100 meter. And in the same time, Arjun has travelled 90. So I'll get the ratio 10 by 9. So by using the first fact, we can identify that the ratio of speed of Karan and Arjun is 10:9. Next line. To do a favor to Arjun, Karan start 10 meters behind the starting line in a second 100 meter race. And they both run at their earlier speed. So the ratio of the speed will be still same. So in the second scenario, what is happening? I can say the length of the race course is 100. But Karan do a favor to Arjun. That Karan start 10 meters behind. So Arjun is starting here from here. And Karan is 10 meters behind Arjun. Let's say Karan is here. So Karan needs to travel 110. Okay, Karan needs to travel 110 and Arjun needs to travel 100. Okay, so what I can say, in the same time, the distance traveled by Karan to the distance traveled by Arjun, it will be always in the ratio of speed of Karan to speed of Arjun, that is equal to 10:9. And if I multiply these ratios by 11, so like multiply numerator and denominator both by 11. So what did I get here? 110 and upon 99. Which means when Karan will travel 110, in the same time Arjun will travel 90. Okay. So Karan has traveled 110. So if the Karan has traveled 110, Karan starts from here and it will reach to the opposite end here. He has completed the entire thing, the 10 extra plus 100, 110. And in the same time, Arjun has traveled only 90, sorry. So Arjun might be here only. He has traveled only 99. Arjun still needs to travel how many more meter? One more meter. 99 plus 100. So when he has traveled 110, he has traveled 99. So still there is a gap between these two is of how many meter? 1 meter. So the correct answer for this question will be Karan beats Arjun by 1 meter. So I hope that this is also clear. So we have seen these two examples from the CAT here where we have used the proportionality funda if the time is constant. So in the subsequent video, I will also discuss few more questions from the CAT or ZAT or the IFT paper or SSC CGL paper, wherein we will be discussing how to use the concept of proportionality in the actual exam questions here. Till then, watch this video. If you guys have any doubt, you can post it in the comment section.